New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hello and welcome back to Global Focus Today. I am Reverend Dr. Sharri Johnson, your host, and we have another marvelous new guest today. Our guest today is Patricia Wagner. She is a licensed unity teacher. She is a divine science minister. She is an energy healing instructor. She's a heart math ad heart facilitator, and she's a TEDx speaker. She learned to meditate in 1977, and since then, she has received messages from Spirit that she calls divine downloads, and she freely shares these free. So we're going to tell you how you can get them. 2 Doors Visions, Looking for Light, and the Christ Challenge. She credits her meditation practice and her energy healing experiences to bringing her home to the realization that everything is energy, therefore everything is changeable. It's the frequency at which we most consistently vibrate that outpictures in our lives. The higher the vibrational frequency, the more heavenly life becomes. So please help me welcome the heavenly Reverend Patricia Wagner to Global Focus Today. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Oh, Sharri, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. And heavenly, we're all working on heavenly. I can tell you we're all in process, I believe. Anyway, I know I am. But I want to thank you for this. And before we get started, I just want to share that I think what you do is so monumentally valuable. I know it is for me. You actually affirm and give recognition to those of us who are ministers, not in a brick and mortar kind of church, but who are nonetheless doing our best to elevate the consciousness on the planet through the gifts that we bring. And so I honor you for recognizing and giving us an ability to share our messages even farther. So thank you, Sharri. Thank you.
You are so welcome, because to me, this is the only thing that I can do that makes a difference. Because, spirituality is like everything else in the universe. It's always evolving. It's always expanding. And what that means in practical terms is that there are as many valid spiritual paths on the planet as there are people on the planet. If we're going to support their spiritual development, then we have to diversify. And then that's where focused ministry comes from. So I just want to make sure everybody knows what's available to them. And today, you're what's available to them.
Thank you.
So first thing I want you to do is to tell us how we can get those downloads.
Well, as your introduction specified, not for spiritual reasons, but back in 1977, I had 3 young children and a marriage that was dissolving. And so synchronistically, Spirit supplied us with a magazine that we had a subscription to. It was a normal magazine, and in it, the lead story was about transcendental meditation. Well, I don't know transcendental meditation, but I read the article and it talked about how you can learn how to quiet your mind. And some people in learning meditation actually learn how to gain and attain that state of peacefulness within them. And I thought, well, that's for me. So I remembered back to when I was a little girl, and and my parents would dress me and my older sister in pajamas, and we'd be in the back seat and they'd be in the front seat as we went to the drive-in movie theater. And I was just a little girl, but I remember standing up on the floorboard of the back seat and looking over that front seat, which was all one seat back in those days, staring at this blank white outdoor movie theater screen, not blinking or thinking anything, because I didn't want to miss even 1 second of the cartoon that they showed before they showed the movie. So I remembered as that young woman back to that time. And with my eyes closed and with inner eyes, I recreated in my mind that big blank white movie theater screen, just with maybe a presence of expectation, joyful expectation. Looked at it without thinking or blinking and just waited. And that's how I trained my mind to be still. What I didn't realize back then was how just by quieting the mind, stilling the mind, that spirit would find a way to connect in such a profound way of love, of embodying divine love, a love that at times I have caught glimpses of, and then later on started bringing me these messages, these divine downloads. And there's 3 of them that I really wish are meant for humanity, to assist humanity in elevating the consciousness and awakening, in doing the work that you and I and so many others have been doing. But I really believe that there's 3 particular messages that are meant for more than just me. They're meant to elevate consciousness on the planet by awakening humanity.
And how do we get copies of those? How do we acquire those?
Oh, if anyone just emails me, I send them out freely. But
I just have your email here on the screen so that they can copy that down.
Okay, so that there's a little misspelling there. That's why I don't. It is the best email to use, but it's how it's why I don't give it out, because it's so easily misspelled. It's my name, Patricia, Patricia, with just the letter N in between my name and my husband's name, Dave. So it's Patricia and Dave at AOL.com.
Which would explain why the things I sent you didn't get there.
Exactly. Over there now, we figured it out. Okay.
Well, good. I fixed it so we can put it on the screen so people can copy it down. So there it is, Patricia and Dave.
Yeah. Sometimes I capitalize that N so that people can see it's one name and then Dave.
Should we put anything special in the subject line of the email?
Just messages from spirit would do it, and I would send all 3. But I can define each of them, and whatever. If they just say that they in the subject line, 3 messages from spirit, I'll be glad to contact them by email and send those back to them.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. And there's more, isn't there? I mean, you have an entire Facebook group.
Oh, yes. The Facebook group is where oftentimes I'll share parts of these messages from spirit and other things as well. And it is a huge, it's like 450 plus people who are all in the same venue that we are. And some of them contribute their gifts. It's all free. That's part of the group's guidelines, is that you freely share your gifts with the group. And so it is through that Living in Heart-Centered Gratitude Facebook group that many of us have gotten to know each other. And we share freely. And Sharri Johnson is one of our favorite sharers and a regular sharer in the group. And we are so grateful for the gifts that you share with us. Yeah.
And you have a PowerPoint to share with us today too, don't you?
I do. And I want to tell you that lately, before I was talking about living in heart-centered gratitude, focusing on that. And then I was talking about looking for light. It's a mindfulness game that You can play to train your senses how to see God everywhere. And then I combined the two and formed a spiritual practice that I named Living as a Prayer of Thanksgiving, because in doing those two practices of looking for light, which is aligning the mind with the divine all the time, while living in heart-centered gratitude, we're creating a high vibrational energy field within ourselves. And that field not only affects us, which it does, and if we do it consistently, it just elevates our set point of vibrational frequencies higher and higher and higher. And as you and I both know, that it's not restricted. It's not limited. It affects everyone around us. In fact, it goes out and affects the global world on an energetic basis. We are helping to lift the consciousness on the planet just by becoming living prayers of thanksgiving, aligning our mind with the divine all the time while living in heart-centered gratitude. And I define living in heart-centered gratitude as anchoring to the feeling of gratitude in our hearts, because in doing so, you can train yourself to stay there all day, every day. So, but lately I've been talking about the Christ chalice, and I think number one today is for humanity to realize their divinity. I think that's the number one priority in all of our lives. Not only to know about it, not only to say it, not only to think it, but to really embody the fact that we are divine beings, and to live and move and have our being in that level of consciousness. And so I've been focusing on the Christ chalice because it gives us proof of how our human mind really does operate. And it gives us all the tools we need. We are born fully equipped to attain Buddha mind, enlightenment, what I call Christ consciousness. And in fact, we are essential for the process of creating heaven on earth. So if you want to show that first slide.
Oh, you betcha.
Okay.
Here's the first slide.
Okay. And so here, I hope everyone can see it. This actually, back in 2015, a minister had asked me to take over her class the following week, whose subject was God mind. And so on that Sunday before the class, I was sitting in the sanctuary with my husband waiting for the service to begin. And I silently asked Spirit, how do I explain God mind? And instantly this conceptualization appeared in my mind. And because of all of the education with regard to spiritual knowing of all these different aspects that are shown in this diagram, I knew what each of them was and what each of their functions were. And so let's go through and explain what each one is. There's God mind. God mind is what some people call divine mind, infinite intelligence. Its nature is omniscience, all-knowing, omnipotence, all power, and omnipresence, everywhere present. It's infinite, pure potential. And then in the middle, you'll see what I call, it looked like a chalice to me, probably because I was raised as a Catholic, that inner aspect of the divine mind, which includes the three phases of the human mind: the superconscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind. So that looked like a chalice to me. I've actually grown to think of it as the Holy Grail, as this sacred treasure, this treasure that we have within us that is capable of infinite potential, is capable of unlimited abundance, is capable of creating heaven on earth when used in the way that it was created to be used. And so to define each one, the superconscious aspect of mind is a non-thinking aspect of mind. The superconscious is meant to be still, yet open and receptive and in resonance with divine mind, to be able to receive divine ideas, insights, revelations, visions, knowings, guidance, and to bring those as a receiver from God mind, having those divine ideas and inspirations flow naturally and impress the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is a reflector plate. It reflects to the conscious mind everything that is input there. And so the subconscious mind is also a non-thinking mind, just like the superconscious. It just reflects back to the conscious mind all of the imprints that we've given it, either from our superconscious or from our conscious mind. So then the conscious mind is the only aspect of our human mind that is the thinking aspect. It can direct where we focus our attention. And where we need to focus our attention is always on the superconscious, the superconscious aspect of mind, not out into the relative world. You'll see as that if we're in Christ consciousness, we are receiving divine ideas from God mind. They're flowing freely into the superconscious aspect of mind, that flows freely into the subconscious mind, that flows freely into our conscious mind. And our conscious mind is what brings it out into the relative world, the world in which we live, both the physical relative world of time and space and form, and the non-physical relative world, which is race consciousness. It's all the paradigms, the memes, the thoughts that the majority of our race is thinking and living by. But in a Christ conscious mind, we are able to have that flow of divine ideas and inspirations flow through that whole human mind, working as one whole unit, and bring it out into our world to create in the material world, bringing into more visibility the divine perfection of God ideals into our world, and also bringing into race consciousness the beliefs that are in a full alignment with God mind, full alignment with our true divine nature, elevating on a vibrational level the aspects, the vibrations, the consciousness of race consciousness here on the planet. So that's how Christ consciousness, how enlightenment, how Buddha mind is meant to work. And we're all born with this capability. But the problem is most people don't know that there is a superconscious aspect of mind. And so what we have seen in our planet, and we see pretty much every day, that the common use of our human mind is only our conscious and our subconscious mind. The superconscious seems to be, for most people, dormant because it's not used. It's always there. It always has the capability of being used, but without knowing that it's there, people are not using it. So what they're using is their senses, their five senses of sight and hearing and smell and taste and touch. And sometimes they even tap into their intuition, the sixth sense, but they're not necessarily using their superconscious mind. So what we see in the relative world, in our world, is a belief system in separation, a belief system in duality of right and wrong and good and bad and light and dark. And the conscious mind is, through sense consciousness, looking out into the world, and they're seeing this proof of duality in their mind, this proof, its appearance of duality and good and bad and right and wrong. And they're listening, they're listening to this race consciousness belief system of separation. They have not really grasped the idea that they are divine beings, capable, fully empowered to create heaven on earth, because of not knowing what this human mind is really equipped to do. And so they look out into the world and they bring back the impressions of that duality, that right and wrong and good and bad, and impress the subconscious with those beliefs, with those thoughts. And then the subconscious does what it's meant to do. It brings back to the conscious mind everything that it has been impressed with, which is that duality. And then the conscious mind and our brains like to prove us right. And so we go out into the world and we say, oh, yes, there's right and wrong, there's good and bad, and we're separate and this and that. And there's, all this polarity that we see escalating in the world because we're only using our conscious and our subconscious mind. And it's like a feedback loop of going out into the world, verifying, yes, what we believe, and bringing it back to the subconscious, impressing it more with that duality thinking, bringing it back into the world, and it's escalating higher and higher in that kind of misperception of what the world is. And so I really believe that the most important thing now is to really claim our divinity, to claim this proof of our human mind. And I'll tell you, Sharri, scientists are now beginning to try and prove scientifically the aspect of the superconscious mind and how it is involved in the creation process, our spirituality. Scientists are now really embracing the fact that the spiritual aspect of nature, of all of us, has a direct impact on our material world. And so it's happening, it's developing, and soon we will have scientific proof. Not that maybe you and I need it. I mean, this is sufficient for us because, the mystics and religious theologians and those avatars that have lived before, they knew all this. Even without this conceptualization, they knew it, they said it, and they brought it to us, but we just didn't have the capacity to understand it yet. And you know what? In Revelation, I just want to say, in the Center for Spiritual Living, one of their principles is this. Ernest Holmes said, "We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that
anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God."
You know it by heart. And it's so true. It is so true. So, yeah. So that's what I feel like my mission is at the current moment, is to really bring this Christ chalice conceptualization as an awareness to people that they are born fully equipped and are designed to attain Christ consciousness or enlightenment or whatever word, Buddha mind, whatever word they want to use, and that they are not only equipped with it, but as you can see, our human minds are individualized expressions of God mind, and that we are essential for creating heaven on earth. It's not only that, we have to choose that. We have to choose to live that way, to live with our minds fully open and in resonance with divine mind, so that our superconscious can be activated and be a flowing vessel into the subconscious, into the conscious, and out into our world to make a difference. And we will make a difference. And it's not going to take that many of us once we get on board with doing this. So I'll stop there. Any questions? And then I have more to share.
Okay. Want me to go to the next slide?
Sure.
Okay. There you go.
Okay. So the last talk I gave was on May 5th. And I invited everyone who was there, and even those listening, if they wanted to enter into a 21-day Christ Chalice covenant. And to my surprise, 20-some people signed up for that. And so we just completed that covenant yesterday. How prophetic that this talk was today. I mean, there's no accident in any of this, right? And so there are some of us who even want to continue because of the changes that we saw happen during that 21-day Christ Chalice covenant that we participated in. And all it involved was actually setting the intention to realize oneness by activating our superconscious mind. And we did that through several spiritual practices. So if you can show the next slide, please.
You go.
So our practices that we did during our 21 days was to meditate at least 20 minutes twice per day. And the reason we said that, and it doesn't have to be transcendental meditation, but we got the idea from transcendental meditation because TM has done decades of research on the effectiveness of meditating twice a day for 20 minutes or more. And they've proven that, the health benefits, both physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, of doing that. And I believe it really is, a catalyst for activating that superconscious aspect of mind. And then the second spiritual practice was to align our mind with the divine all the time. And of course, that can be done in a multitude of ways. So it's not only through meditation. Some people love prayer, and for me, meditation is my prayer. I'm a silent prayer person, but some people are so gifted in their spoken word and in prayer that's their alignment with the divine all the time. And some people, it's being in nature, communing with nature. To me, it's communicating with spirit all the time in every way, whether I'm taking a walk or sitting on our outside deck. Nature is a very profound piece in that aligning our mind with the divine and seeing the beauty in everything. And that looking for light game, that was the second message from spirit that I got back in 2001, where it's a mindfulness practice, but I like to play it like a game, where I use light as a reminder that that's spirit. Every time I see light, it's spirit just winking and blinking at me saying, here I am, Patricia. Here I am. I am everywhere present. And it fills my heart with gratitude and a joyful expectation to see the next sighting of light or spirit, which happens over and over again because I'm looking for it. And that's the beauty of the game. Because I'm looking for it, light or spirit pops out everywhere, in everything, because I'm looking for it. And it's not that light's not there all the time. It's just that if I'm not looking for it, it fades into the background. I don't even notice it. But it's a powerful game that will transform your whole energy field, lifting it up into such a high vibration. You will be elated by the end of the day of playing this little game of looking for light. So that's just another little spiritual tool for the toolbox. And I know Emmett Fox. He was a divine science minister way back when, and he wrote a number of books. He spoke to 5,000s on Sundays at the Hippodrome in New York. I mean, he was just very well known. But what he is known most for is the Golden Key. And the Golden Key is this simple practice.
Tiny little pamphlet.
It is a tiny little pamphlet. But the practice can be boiled down to this one sentence. Let's see. It says, keep, let's see. What is it? Here it is. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. And that is the whole golden key. And it is transformational, which is aligning your mind with the divine all the time. So, stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. And it works. And it just really works. So try that. So the third step is to live in heart-centered gratitude, which I mentioned before, for me, is anchoring to the feeling of gratitude in your heart. Now, I know there are a lot of gratitude practices since the Divine Two-Step, or the Two Doors Vision, which appeared in 1999, that really revealed three things in that revelation. It revealed that our purpose in life is a realization of oneness with God. It revealed that we have choices in how we awaken, consciously through gratitude or unconsciously, as we probably, most of us have been doing, learning lessons through challenges in life. And third, that no matter which path we take, the ultimate destination is heaven on earth. That was a profound vision. And I didn't get it. For 19 years, I didn't get it. Because back in 1999, nobody was talking about gratitude or creating heaven on earth. And, but it's profound. And if all we need to do is just live in our hearts in gratitude, in whatever way you do it, whether it's journaling gratitude, looking for grateful things all day, whatever way you can do it. For me, it's anchoring to the feeling of gratitude in my heart, because I know I can stay there for long periods of time. In fact, I can train myself to stay there all day, every day. And you can too. So, and then the last one is a little song that I woke up to in December. I woke up to this song playing in my mind with the words in there. And it's such a simple song, and it gets stuck in your mind. So we've got a little video.
I just happen to have a video. Would you like me to play it?
Oh, yes, Sharri, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Patricia Wagner, and I am the founder of the Living in Heart Center Gratitude Facebook group. This little song I woke up with just a few weeks ago, and I think it fills in the gaps between meditation, prayer, contemplation, introspection, all practicing the presence, all of those other practices that we have in our spiritual toolbox. It's just a little song that if you sing it, it will get stuck in the background of your mind, and you can hear it playing in the background of your mind all day long. So it's very simple. This is how it goes. And by the way, I named it Realizing Oneness. When I woke up this morning, my mind was stayed on thee. When I woke up this morning, my mind was stayed on thee. When I woke up this morning, my mind was stayed on thee. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. In everything I do today, my mind is stayed on thee. In everything I do today, my mind is stayed on thee. In everything I do today, my mind is stayed on thee. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. As I lay me down to sleep, my mind is stayed on thee. As I lay me down to sleep, my mind is stayed on thee. As I lay me down to sleep, my mind is stayed on thee. Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia. That's it. It's that simple. But I'm telling you, if you just sing it a few times, it will start playing in the background of your mind. And what better message would we want to become embedded in our subconscious, right? Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to share right now. This is Reverend Patricia Wagner signing off. Bye, friends.
Okay.
It's such a simple song. And by the way, you can change the words to it to whatever a person needs most. My husband, here's one of his. He's changed it a lot of ways, but one of them that I remember is, as I watch the evening news, my mind is stayed on thee. So that's one where he can sometimes get caught, you know.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Right, as we all can. So
that's wonderful. Gosh, I love that. Well, you'll be getting an email from me to get those free downloads, because I just love that little song. And I can, you're right. It's a wonderful earworm. You know, it just sticks. So that's great. So I've got 5 questions that I ask every single guest. And so I'm going to ask you them now. The first one is usually the guest's favorite. Is there anything that you want to make sure our viewers hear or know that I haven't asked you about?
Oh, just how important it is for each of us to really not only learn and know, but really start embracing and embodying our own divinity. That's really paramount to, in my opinion, right now here on earth, so that we can live and move and have our being in the true God selves that we are.
Well, I can go with that. Okay, here's the next one. How does what you do with Grace Unlimited, with that adorable little song, with all of the activities that you have, how does what you do and how you do it and what you be and how you be it, how does all of that contribute to, encourage, develop, pick your own verb, conscious evolution?
I believe the more that the more that these messages from Spirit are seen and understood and embraced, I believe that each one of us will manifest a higher and higher individual vibrational frequency and energy field. And that energy field is playing out into the world, whether it's unconscious or consciously, it's playing out there. So we become the light we want to see in the world. We become that living light, that love light of the Christ as we attain that Christ conscious nature. It's just an energetic thing. And, I've always said, being an energy healer instructor, it's all about the energy. It really is. It's all about the energy. So whatever we're bringing to the world is what the world is experiencing, and it's having a dramatic effect in our world. So we are powerful beyond belief, as long as, and in numerous ways, and it's our choice how we want to be that presence in the world, that energy vibration. But we have tools that will enable us to help maintain and sustain that higher vibrational frequency.
All righty. So now this next question sounds like it might be the same as the last one, but it's a little bit different. How does what you do and how you do it, and what you be and how you be it, how does all of that together contribute to, enhance, encourage, pick your own verb, world peace?
Oh, Sharri, I believe that the evolutionary process of creation is for humanity to grow into the perfect divine ideal for mankind that's held in the mind of God. It's part of our evolutionary process. And in that process of ultimately creating heaven on earth, peace on earth is just part of it. So it cannot not happen. It's just all a matter of time. And it is a matter of us choosing. But I believe there's enough of us in this new thought communities that we have globally, in not only in new thought, but in the common denominators within various religions and theological thinkings. And now with the scientists getting on board with proving the effect of consciousness in our world. Wow, we're going to see major shifts in our world. And one of those will be peace on earth.
I'm going to quote you every day from now on, because that's the best line I ever heard. It can't not happen. Peace on earth can't not happen. Thank you. I love that. Okay, here's the next question. I got a little carried away. The next question is, presuming, and you got to close your eyes for this one because you need your imagination, presuming that everything goes exactly the way you want it to go, every little detail, every event, every relationship, every activity, every single positive thing goes exactly the way you want it to go. 10 years from now, what does Patricia Wagner, Reverend Patricia Wagner, and Grace Unlimited look like?
I am just a part of heaven on earth. I I am just part of that individualized expression of God, seeing and manifesting and beholding every other person as that individualized expression of God. We are enjoying heaven on earth. We are enjoying it globally. There's just no separation. We know that we are one humanity. We not only realize, but we embody oneness in everything we think, say, and do. It's just a marvelous, marvelous life to live. And you know what? We all chose to be here at this time. And so we're all part of this co-creation of heaven on earth.
Okay. And the last question, will you come back?
Oh, I'd be delighted, Sharri. You're just
The
so.
first
You're
I
so
have
perfect.
April 22nd of 25. Can I plug you in?
April 22nd of 25. I'm sure I don't have my calendar with me, but I'm sure that'll be just perfect.
I will send you an email. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone please know that next week, Reverend Chris Plym from Mile High Church in Denver is going to be our guest. And she was here once before live last year from the Parliament of World Religions, and many things have happened in her life since then and in her world. So it's going to be another fabulous interview just like this one, and I hope you won't miss it. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week. I love you. Bye.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.